You need to watch this and get this taken care of as quickly as possible before your text messages get completely shut down and everything goes to spam by the carriers. So new laws have been put in place for the A2P 10DLC registration of your phone numbers, which basically means any software, not just Scalability, but any software, any business owner who's going to be sending text messages to clients, getting opt-ins, freebies, notification reminders, anything where you're going to be sending text to clients, you now have to register your phone numbers with the A2P 10DLC setup. Okay, we've built it into where you can take care of all that inside of Scalability. And on this video, I'm going to walk you through how to do that. Now, this is not something that Scalability is doing or that any software is doing. This is a nationwide thing. Basically, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, all the carriers came together and they're trying to crack down on spam. So, we teach you how to have an actual business and make it scalable. That's the point of Scalability, the software, building things into one place and making it to where it works, an actual business, right? We're not on get rich quick and everything else. So this is part of that process that is going to be continuing to develop through the carriers and the actual service providers. So what happens is there's a national database and your business will get ranked in that national database on reputation. Basically, like, are you sending spam text messages to people? Are you registered your phone number? Do you have information like an LLC through your state to where they can tell you're an actual business doing real business with real clients that want to hear from you? Or are you just buying a list and blasting text to everybody on it? They're trying to cut down on all of that. So it has nothing to do with any CRM or any software provider that you use. It's literally all the carriers and the laws that they've got passed. So now we want to show you how to be compliant so that you don't get shut down, because literally within the next week, phone numbers are going to start getting shut down that are not registered. So in other words, if you continue sending text messages, they're going to slowly, more and more of them are going to show up in people's spam. So in other words, they're going to get blocked by the carriers. And if you're not registered, by August, your phone numbers won't send texts at all, period. So we want to get you registered and compliant so that you can actually continue doing business through text message marketing, okay? So I'm going to walk you through the process of how to do that inside of Scalability right now. And then we've tried to make it as easy as humanly possible and created a Google Doc where we've already written the text that you need to use for the campaign, the sample texts, the opt-out messaging, the opt-in keywords, all of that stuff. So below this video, you'll see a Google Doc link, and that will give you the text that I'm about to show you as we walk through here. Okay, so I'm going to demo that for you, and we're going to jump into an actual Scalability account so that I can walk you through getting this set up. And then, like I said, you want to get this set up and taken care of as quickly as possible so that you can continue doing business as usual. All right, so let's jump in here. This is inside of a Scalability account. Now, right now, when you first log in, you're going to be in your dashboard, right? If we go down to the bottom left corner, you're going to click on Settings. And the first thing it brings up is your business profile. This information is the first step, the first thing that we need to dial in, okay? Now, whether you have an LLC or not, you still want to fill in as much of this as you possibly can. So right now, friendly business name may be your name and your business name, right? You're going to put that stuff in there. Business email, business website, the niche that you're doing, online training, real estate, mortgages, whatever that is. And then fill in your physical address over here. Make sure your time zone, and then very important, make sure that the United States is selected. Okay, even if the rest of this wasn't, make sure United States is selected, and then make sure you're clicking update at the bottom of each one so that you save the information as you get it done. Now, right below that, you want to fill in your information again as the authorized representative. Now here, put in your cell phone number, okay? This is important that you use your cell phone number here so that they can verify you are who you are. And then right here next to it, in the business information section, here you can select, LLC, you select your industry that you're in, and then you're going to fill out your business registration type, like U.S. employer identification number, and then your EIN here. Make sure that you're putting in your 2 digits, then the dash, and then the rest of the number, and then selecting USA and Canada and update the information. Now I'm trying to move through this obviously quickly so that I make it a short video and you can slow it down and pause it as you need to. Now, here in this information, if you are not an LLC registered through your state, you want to go ahead and fill in as much as you can. So don't put something in here or put my business is not registered, put USA and Canada, select your business industry, and then save that data. Okay. So basically fill in as much as you can, because it's important that as much of this is filled in as possible is filled in. Now on this Google Doc, here's an example of this Google Doc that is in the link below that you can view. Now right here up top, first step, this is what I'm going over right now, filling in your business profile. And so this is going to help you with your name should be the exact name, which is on your LLC. So if we go up here, this legal business name right here, this should be what's on your LLC with your articles of incorporation from your state. So if you have an LLC, there's going to be a legal business name, VIP Buyers Club Owners Mastermind LLC. Make sure that whole thing is put in here exactly like it is on your articles. Okay. Now, 2, business phone formatted like this, and your business EIN with the 84 dash whatever. Okay. So that kind of gives you some guidelines just to make sure you get your information plugged in there right. And then the second step, we're going to actually go and register your numbers. So if I jump back into Scalability, once you've filled in all this information here, we're going to go back on this left side menu and click on phone numbers. Now, when we click on phone numbers, you might see this big red bar pop up here at the top. But ultimately, what we're looking for is Trust Center. So right here at the top, it says Trust Center. I want you to click on that. And now here, we're going to start registration right here where the A2P brand and campaign registration is. Okay, so if we click Start Registration, the first thing it's going to bring up, the first thing is going to let you choose. Are you an LLC? Do you have an EIN number? Or no, the business I'm registering does not have a tax ID, which would mean you'd be going by your Social Security number. Okay. Remember, this is so that the national database can verify that you actually are a real person, not trying to scam people, and they can verify you and start to give you a reputation so that your texts send better or get completely blocked as spam. I know this is inconvenient, but ultimately, this is going to weed out all of the spamming and scamming, not all of it probably, but it's going to weed out a lot of people that are not doing legitimate business, which will make it easier for you to connect with your people if you actually are doing legitimate business. So choose here whether it's an LLC or whether it's a no, it's not registered, and you're going to go by your social. Now, if you go no, not registered, click next. The first thing that's going to come up are a couple of charges. Now, even if we, these are one-time setup fees for actually doing this. This is not charged by us. No software out there is going to be getting any of this. This is coming from the cell phone providers and setting up that stuff. So it is charged to us and is simply passed along to you to help you get this done inside of Scalability without having to go out and do other things. And then additionally, these are going to be a one-time setup fee, and additionally campaign fee of $2.50 per month will apply accordance to the TCR rules. This is stuff we cannot get around. And depending on your reputation, from what I understand right now, this is brand new. It's like just out. We have to do this now. But from what I understand right now, this $250 might change. It might go up and down depending on whether you're an LLC, whether you're not registered, and kind of what your reputation is over time in that national database. So as your reputation grows in the national database, that monthly fee could actually come down for LLCs. So this is an example of what it looks like for the non-registered business. If I cancel this and I just start over and I say, yes, I'm the business registering, it's going to have the same setup fees, but then it's saying here an additional campaign fee of up to $12 per month will apply in accordance to the TCR rules. So having an LLC and doing the business and having the EIN number, it's actually going to be more. Now, from what I understand currently, as of now, I'm sure it'll develop over time, but as of now, right now, when your reputation grows and gets better and better, that monthly price could come down on the actual costs. Now, don't let this dissuade you from having an actual business. If you're building real business and you are doing business, this is part of having a business. Laws change, rules change. We we make changes with it, we overcome, and we keep going. Okay, so this is all just part of being able to send text messaging as a business to clients. Okay, so if I go ahead and continue here, it's going to pull the information from that business profile. Now let me switch to a different sub account here. I'm going to jump into trust. So this one has all the business profile information filled out. So if we filled out all the business information here, you'll see the address is filled out. You'll see the website, all that. You see here, there's the EIN. All this stuff's filled out. We've got me filled out over here. This is one that we use to test everything. And then if I go to phone numbers on the left, trust center at the top, and I click start registration. Yes, the business is a LLC. Click next. It's going to tell me my fees. Click next. And it has taken the information from that business profile and plugged it into here. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that name is exactly like what's going to be on my legal documents, right? Scroll down, it's a LLC, EIN, it plugs it in there, and it plugs all that information from our profile, and then click next. Now here, it's going to take and plug in the address. Make sure that it's your valid address and that it's actually going to verify if they check it through the state's paperwork for your LLC. Okay, here it's just plugging in all the information from that profile. We're just clicking next. Now here, campaign use case. Okay, this right here is saying low volume, two-factor, account notification, mixed use, everything else, right? So we're going to say mixed use is what we want because we're going to be sending different kinds of campaigns depending on your business. But you might be sending reminders for meetings. You might be sending, letting you know we're going live, things like that, right? Now, the next thing underneath this, it says campaign use case description. In here, it says minimum 40 characters to 4,096 characters. This is explaining what your text campaigns are going to be about. Now, if we jump back over to this Google Doc, this is the first thing I've written for you here. So campaign use case description, campaign use case description. We've labeled it the same, so you know this paragraph is what you'll copy and paste into that section. Okay, now here, obviously, I said insert your offer here, insert your offer here, right? So you want to actually go and change those sections out and put your offer there and your offer there when you put the whole thing, when you put the actual description in here, okay? Then we click next. Now here, it's going to want sample messages. These are like the text messages that you might be actually sending out. If you have yours written and you have some examples, then you want to go ahead and like copy those in there. If we jump back over to this document that we created for you, right here, sample messages, you're going to use two, and you could use these. So you can say, hey, John, this is VIP Buyers, or this is Aaron with VIP Buyers Club. Just noticed you submitted our form online, etc. Right? So essentially, we've wrote 3 different texts for you, and you can just copy one and place it in the first spot here. So we could say, I want to use this one. Of course, you're going to plug in your name. You're going to swap that out and put your name and your company name there instead of your name and company name. And then just grab the second one. These do not have to be word for word of what you're going to send out. They just need to be examples so that they see some of the stuff you're going to send out. So you can use these examples that we've given you, or you can write your own, or if you already have automations running, copy a couple that you're actively using and place them in there so they can see what you're sending. Here, the message will include embedded links. The message will include phone numbers. These two, I would leave them unchecked because it's not good practice to send. Well, let me take that back. When I say good practice, it means if you want your text messages to be delivered and not end up in spam, putting links in them has a higher chance of going to a spam inbox or the carriers blocking your messages from coming through to people. So when you send text messages out, you want to kind of try to avoid putting in things like buy now or 50% discount or a link to your website. Anything like that is going to raise the possibilities of ending up in a spam box or being blocked by the carriers. So if you're checking these, you're saying that you're actually going to put other phone numbers and links in the text that you're sending out. So I would say leave them unchecked. And when you're sending your text, don't put things in there. Okay. And then two, you have to have like reply stop to unsubscribe to be legally compliant. You have to tell people how they can stop getting the text messages. So we've kind of added that right in there for our examples. Once you've either written your own or took two from our samples here and plugged them in, just click next. And the next thing it's going to say is, how do end users receive consent to receive text messages? Go back to the Google Doc again. Right here, we have the same headline message. How do end users consent to receive messages? And you can copy this, read through it, okay, so that you see it and you understand it. But we've written it to where you can basically copy and paste it. Opt-in keywords. What are people using to opt in, saying they want texts? Right here, we just put a few examples. Start, subscribe, let's go, I'm all in. Copy that, move it over, paste it. Opt-in message, or opt-in, message, must contain business name and opt-out keyword. So here, we've put that in. Opt-in message, must contain business name and opt-out keywords. Okay, opt-out keywords are, please reply stop to unsubscribe. Must contain business name, you're successfully opted in to receive SMS messages from your company name. Swap your company name out for your company name. Okay, so copy this, paste it in there, and then hit submit. When you hit submit, it's going to push it through. Okay, I'm not going to hit submit because I literally left your company name and everything in there. But go through this. When you hit submit, it's going to push that through and start your registration, okay, with the national database. Now, it could register your number immediately, and it could take up to 48 hours. Now, when you register, it could take up to 48 hours, and they say not to send text messages during that 48 hours. Now, some people have said that their messages are still going out. That's up to you. It probably will propagate and register and things a lot faster than that. But essentially, when it says that it's in progress or that it's approved, that little icon is going to show up kind of right here on this box. It'll say in progress or in transit or something like that. But basically, it'll show that it's being worked on or that it's actually approved and ready to go. So that's what you need to know to set up your register your phone numbers so that your text messages keep going out. Right below that, I've put some additional information and best practices for SMS compliance. So here's kind of some do's and don'ts. And then here's some opt-in terms and conditions. If you want to add these to your websites or your forms, it's a good idea, because technically, to be legal on a form where somebody's going to give you their phone number, like if somebody goes to your website and it says name, phone number, email, there has to be a box saying that they are by submitting my information, I consent to getting text messages, and they should click the box. So here's some text where you can copy this. You can plug it into your websites or into your forms and make your forms and websites compliant. And then below that, if you just want to learn more, if you're kind of like techie and you just want to understand this more, Twilio has put out some good help documents on what is 2AP 10DLC and how does that work with sole proprietor. So we've put those links directly in there. And like I said, below this video, you'll see the actual links so that you can check those documents out and you can walk through this whole thing yourself. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, let us know, and make sure that you get this done right away, because we don't want your SMS to get shut down. We want to help you continue to scale and grow your business and continue taking some ground.